Hello and welcome to another edition of the Winedown video blogs. Today's episode is wine evaluation. If you were taking a wine and kind of breaking it down into its components and its flavors, and kind of trying to understand, what are you getting here? How does a wine professional, in a sense, maybe break down a wine? So basically, it's fairly simple. You start with the simplicities of the five S's, in a sense, to where you're kind of going and you're basically looking at your wine. You want to see what you have going on. Color, so you're going for color, kind of understanding what you have here, and you're kind of making the comparisons based on something you had in the past or something of that nature. The next evaluation we're going to go to, going beyond smelling and really getting those evaluations in. Swirl, we'll smell, we'll get that nose. But now we're going towards body. What's the body like in this wine? So we'll take a sip, and in a sense, what is it like? Is it more like skim milk, or is it more like whole milk? And that's where the comparison of body comes from. So skim milk being something that's very light-bodied, something that, again, we're talking texture here, texture of whole milk, then we're saying it is, more of a full-bodied wine. So that's kind of where those come from. Then we're going to evaluate the acidity of the wine. So basically, acidity goes two ways. So when we're talking white wine, we're thinking, using that milk comparison again, is it milk or is it lemonade? So as if it's smooth and easy, more like milk, then it's a very low acid wine. If it's more like lemonade, where you have a ting and a citrusness to it, then you're going toward a wine that has a little bit more acidity. When we judge a red wine, when it comes to acidity, we're going towards fruit freshness, and that kind of gives you a little bit of terms towards the acidity in a red wine. So if it's kind of tastes like raspberries and like underripe type fruits, then we're going to say it has higher acid. But if it's more like a stewed prune, which you'll have some wines that are like that, it's much lower acidity. And to that flavor, to that sense, we talk about fruit freshness in wine too. We talk about, what is it like? Is it more like something that's underripe or something that's overripe? And we'll do the same thing with white wines as well. Is it more like citrus, lemons and limes, or is it more on the apple side of the family? So it's kind of gives you a base to where to put different things, kind of like a shelf holder. And then we'll talk about fruit flavors, in a sense, and sometimes it's hard to nail down a flavor, even for a wine professional. So you'd be like, is it in the red fruit family or the black fruit family? So is it more like, black cherry, black raspberry, or is it more of in the red family where it's a little bit less ripe? Or is it citrus, or is it apple? That's kind of the breakdown we'll use. And then we'll kind of think about, what does this wine resemble? Where is it going to? So a lot of times, you'll think of Riesling, for example, and Riesling has its own fingerprint. Sometimes it smells very like petrol, like something like gasoline or plastic, and that's the way Riesling is. That's its inherent nature. Cabernet a lot of times smells like graphite. So these are some just inherent nature, some different ways, we have, when it comes to wine, we use evaluations, and we use our past experiences when it comes to evaluating it. All right, I hope that was a little helpful. If you have any questions in regard to some of those things, I covered them very quickly, but just some fun tidbits here and there. Just figured a short, quick video this week. All right, thank you so much, and have a great day. See you at Winedown Cafe.